No, Bernard and Stan and Perlita and Dave, Ellery's and Roble9. Some of you, Jim Hall, Bill Duvall, Morgan, Steve Jones, 61 Amphibious Spaceman, but you particularly, Bernard, in your story makes you a stupid fucker. Feet per second. It is maybe Ron Miller and Brian Miller, some people trying to send you a message, Stan and Bernard, Perlita and Dave. So what happens when you touch a small object that is moving at a speed quite faster? So if you're bigger than it and it's moving at a speed much faster than you and you touch it. So it means, Dave, Perlita, when they show me those dials, when Brian and whoever shows me those dials in a natural involving element, an environment with other beings and other species, and if you were to touch one and it moved and you were bigger than it and it moved naturally faster, it would mean that there was different physics involved on the planet, different environment at one time for that stuff to be created naturally, as opposed to now. It could still happen to this day, but that's why they do this, Perlita, to see who's serious and who isn't, but to also protect something what little is left after people came down and raped and pillaged it like it was a toy store. But if you touch a smaller object that moves at in a natural element or natural environment that moves at a high rate of speed, what do you think will happen? Especially if it's evolved and can do more than the group of you. So if you go down there and play with that stuff, Perlita, and know it ain't gunpowder, then you might have a problem. And now you guys will have another appreciation for what those people do. We have a we were drawn to it for a reason, okay? But it doesn't mean that it's for everyone. And those of you who decided to grift it, you'll have to pay for the rest of your existence on the earth. That's why Red Randy and all of them are throwing a temper tantrum with the Freemans and stuff, because they supposedly want to be the protectors of the earth, or, you know, take over the business and run it. But, you know, there are other people who are more, you know, heavily invested and probably involved with the process long before you guys even know about it. So just remember that, Perlita, as you go telling your story with Bernardo Lacarni about what really happened or should have happened, when in reality the group of you went down there being some badasses and fucked up everybody's life. So just remember that, Perlita, the supposed eco freak. And so, Stan, if you were given one of those, or you took one and you brought it up here and you guys were playing with them, David, what do you think happened if you floated one and it wasn't in its natural environment? You guys got to make a determination whether that stuff exists or doesn't exist. So if this guy has been working with me for this long and he's shown me that stuff multiple times in a row as opposed to some book, do you think it would be real or not real? I have a tendency to think it's real, considering the fact that a group of grifters and stuff are attracted to an area and then they expect something to happen, but may have only happened once, and it happened naturally when a different community or environment existed. Then the groups of you want to just come tumbling down like it's a piece of real estate to be used. So you can pretend until a man, oyster cracker man, the experimentator man, that you're some badass with some of those people. But really, we've already proved, those of you who've entered in and invaded with the Negroes and ruined everybody's life. So because you guys don't want to study and take research with it, and any time it's put in front of you guys' faces, your people's attitudes and personalities and behavior changes. So you guys can face your master that you guys don't understand, but you're getting a response from people and the environment as to who's telling the truth and who isn't. And so when you guys ignore blatant signs all around and give me a hard time and mutilate my friends up and torture us to death over it, it kind of means that it once belonged to us and we can't access it to fix you guys' problems, because the group of you want to be dumb fucks who want to make fun of my first girlfriend or my kindergarten teacher for your amusement. So you guys can run it as a business in a toy store, but I can guarantee you this: that's not what it was for and never meant for. And the moment you guys moved in that direction of thought, that was pretty much the end of pretty much any chance of you guys getting it. Now, can it be probably done? Yes, but that man's going to make you grovel all for it, and if they do it at all. So just remember, Perlita, if you're asserting something belongs to you, and the physics and the dimensions and how the Earth operated at the time when it was going, you weren't even alive or born yet with Dave or that group of people, it kind of makes you look dumb.